Hi everybody! Welcome to Creative Writing with Ashleigh. This virtual enrichment is brought to you by Center for Success. In today's video, we're going to be creating word art creatures using symmetry and adjectives. Before we begin, let's learn about symmetry and adjectives. So symmetry is when an object looks exactly the same on one side as it does on the other side. You can test if an object is symmetrical by drawing a line of symmetry, which is a line that evenly divides an object to show if both sides perfectly match. If they do perfectly match, then the object is symmetrical. Some examples of things that are symmetrical are butterflies, starfish, and snowflakes. So now, adjectives are words that describe an animal, person, place, thing, or thought. For this project, we're going to be choosing an adjective that describes ourselves. So maybe you'll choose silly or funny, or maybe you'll choose brave, or any other adjectives that you think describes yourself best. Now that we know about symmetry and adjectives, we can gather our materials. So to create our word art creature, we're going to need some paper. You can use any type of paper that you have at home. I'm going to be using some green construction paper. The best type of paper that you could use for this project would be blank white paper because it really allows your colors to pop. The next thing that we're going to need for this project is a pencil. We're going to use the pencil so that we can write our adjective on our paper. And then we're going to also use our pencil so that we can trace our adjective nice and hard so that it will transfer over onto the other side when we get to that step. For the transferring step, we're also going to need to use a pen. The pen will be really useful for this step, and you'll see why later. And then finally, we're going to use our black marker to go over our words so that they really pop after we add all of the colors. And obviously, the last step is crayons and your creativity. Now, let's start creating our word art creature. The first thing that we need to do is fold our paper hot dog style, also known as horizontally. When we fold it, we're going to make sure that it folds up nice and evenly. And then we're going to press it down. And there we go. We have our hot dog, or it's folded horizontally. And now we're going to open it up, and we're going to write our adjective that describes us as closely to this fold as possible. So I'm going to write the word smart because that's the adjective that I would use to describe myself. And then we're going to write it as big as possible. Make sure you save yourself enough room. Alright, and there we go. There's my word, or my adjective that describes me, smart. And as you can see, I put it as closely to this fold as possible. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to retrace over this, and we're going to go as hard as we can with the pencil so that we leave a nice powdery graphite. It'll help us transfer it later on. We're going to use a little back and forth motion to do this. Make sure you don't break your pencil though, or at least try not to. Alright, and there you go. It's all traced over again with my pencil so that I get that nice graphite on there. And now I can close it up. And I'm going to take my pen, and I can see my words through here a little bit. You might not be able to see it on here, but I can see them. You can see them a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to take my pen, and where I see my words, I'm going to start scribbling it like this, up and down, like that. I'm going to try to get it to where you can see it a little bit better. What I'm doing, up and down, just like that. and this will help transfer our graphite over to the other side of the paper. My crayons are falling off my table. I'm going to move them. Alright, and I need to grab another pen real quick. Alright, and I'm just finishing up with my tea. A little bit of a hard time seeing this one though. If I need to, I can hold it up to the light to try to help me. Alright, so now I have that done. Alright, and I can open this up. And you can see it traced our word over onto the other side. That's really cool, right guys? Okay, so to make sure it's nice and solid and that we can see it nicely, now we're gonna go over both words with our black Sharpie. We're gonna trace over them. I'm gonna start with this. Actually, I'm gonna start with my trace side so that I make sure that the print doesn't go away. I don't think it will though, no. So actually, I just noticed that a little piece of my A is missing. So I'm going to try to go to the other side and trace that back in real quick. Sometimes you need to do that if there's any missing parts. That's okay. All right, and see, now it's there. Now I gotta trace this side. Okay. And as you can see, it's traced on both sides now. I have smart on this side and smart on this side. Now, if you read it, one of the sides are going to look backwards to you, but that's because it's perfectly mirrored, okay? See, it's perfectly mirrored from each other, and that's what a symmetric shape is. So, we got the line of symmetry right down the middle right here. Alright, and see, this is exactly the same as this side. Okay, and now we're going to start creating our actual creature. For this part, we're going to use all of our creativity. And so to do that, we can look at it and we can see what do we think it could look like. I think that these might be its wings, and I think I might make these some antennas, and maybe the eyes. I'm going to start doing that, and when we do this, the only rule that we got to follow is that we got to make sure that it stays symmetric. So if we put an eye on this side, we got to make sure we put the eye on this side too, okay? And if we color this side blue, we gotta also color this side blue. Not the whole thing, just like the letter. The S, if we color the S blue, we gotta color this S blue. If we color this M purple, we gotta color this M purple. Okay? Alright, so I'm gonna get coloring. We also gotta make sure we actually close up the shape too a little bit. So, I'm gonna put a little line right here because I didn't touch the lines quite enough, so, but that's okay. As you can see, I'm just closing up his body in certain areas wherever I want to. Just try to make sure you keep it symmetric, so you're closing it up at the same areas. And as you're doing this, you're kind of just thinking about how you want your monster to look. Alright, so I close my bug up everywhere where I want to close him up at, as you can see. Now I'm going to start going over him with my colors. So I made this eye right here, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4 lines that way and 3 lines this way, so I'm going to make sure I do it the same way on this way. Alright. And I'm done creating my bug creature. Or my word art creature. He kind of looks like a bug to me, I think. I think he would be somebody, yeah, I think he'd be a bug. He's got some wings. And he's got he's got 4 eyes. He's got 2 up here and 2 down here. Gave him a lot of antennas. He's also got a tail, though, kind of like a fish, so maybe he could be a swimming creature. I don't know, whatever you think. And then you can just create your own. Let's make sure that he is symmetric, though. So we can fold him this way this time real quick. And as we can see, this is how he looks on this side. All the colors in the eyes and the wings. And on this side, it's the same thing. Alright, and open him back up. Alright. There you go. That's how you create a word art creature using symmetry and adjectives. My adjective, as you can see, and you can still read it in there, is smart. So again, today we learned how to create our own word art creatures using symmetry and adjectives, like one of these. So please comment below with a picture of your word art creature and let me know what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of. Thank you for sharing your time with Center of Success. We are so grateful for the opportunity to be part of your life and to share this new form of community with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!